Hi, Joe Murphy here. I want to talk to you about leadership, but I want to talk to you from the standpoint of emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Now, I'm going to get into this discussion of self-discovery today. Self-discovery is something that I think is necessary to understand your capabilities to grow as a leader. Now, let me step back because behind me I have a quote, and I need to start off this conversation with the quote from Socrates. And he said this: "The unexamined life is not worth living." And this is a key point for all of us to understand and what he meant by that. Now, Socrates taught Plato, and Plato taught Aristotle. Aristotle eventually taught Alexander the Great, taught him how to be a leader. And if those of you who are not familiar with Alexander the Great, he conquered what was known at the time the entire world. What I want to talk to you about, this idea of self-discovery and what Socrates was trying to say, is you've got to understand who you are as a person. Now, I've been studying leadership for the past 30 years, and one of the foremost experts on leaders is a gentleman who passed away, and his name was Warren Bennis. He was a professor at the University of Southern California. He was a lieutenant in World War II. I believe he was the youngest lieutenant at the time. And he also did a lot of research on leadership. He did one of the most seminal research studies at the time on what it takes to become a leader. And he and Bert Nannis conducted this study of where they went out and spoke to over 140 different leaders from business, government, not-for-profits, and the military to understand what they did to become a leader. So here's two questions that when I talk to people about leadership, I want you to ask yourself. And if you don't have a pen and paper, you're going to want to write these down or watch this video again. And the first question is this who you wish to be? Are you the person you wish to be? And then the second question is, can you change for the better? Now, I cannot answer your first question for you. You've got to ask that question. And it's something that you need to ask yourself continuously. You see, this idea of asking yourself is like a grain of sand in an oyster, which creates a pearl, because this grain of sand can act as an instigator. It creates irritation. And in that irritation in an oyster, it creates a pearl. Much like if you ask this question, it causes you to want to do better. So let's get to one of the other points I want to make. One of Warren Bennis's best books was On Becoming a Leader. If you pick up the book, and I highly recommend that you do, I read this book at least once a year. It has a framework for becoming a leader. Now, if you buy the latest edition, you have to get rid of the first 30 pages. He got into politics later on in life, and that might skew your whole opinion about it. We're so divided as a nation in the U.S. about Democrat, Republican. And so don't dismiss those first 30 pages. Don't dismiss the entire book based on those first 30 pages. Just skip it. This idea of self-discovery is very important for you to grow as a leader. So in order to become a better person, a leader, you have to understand who you are currently and who you can become. And this is not an easy feat. It means breaking from the past and breaking the mold that we formed ourselves under, either by conditions or by other people. It also means, and this is important, doing something other than what is popular. You see, being a leader doesn't mean fitting in. It means standing out. And sometimes in order to lead, to be a leader, at least to develop yourself, you have to stand aside from what everybody else is doing and not follow the go-nowhere crowd. It always, but this last point is, and this is number 3, the third point to this, it always means doing what's right. So let me go through those again. It means breaking free of the past and breaking the mold of who you were. Second, it means doing something other than what is popular. And then third, it means doing what is right. And to understand what is right, here's 2 questions for you. You have to understand what is right for you, okay? And you also have to understand what is right for those around you. And if you can understand those two things, they may be opposites or they may intertwine. But to be a leader, you have to ask both questions. And these are never easy answers, and they are never final. You see, society wants you to conform. There's great pressures for you to fit into this box. However, knowing yourself and knowing what you want is critical to becoming who you can be. And it is an important ingredient to the foundation of leadership. Warren Bennis had these 4 lessons in self-knowledge, and they go like this. You are your own best teacher. Second, accept responsibility. Blame no one. And third, you can learn anything you want to learn. And then finally, number 4, true understanding comes from reflecting on your own experience. Don't allow anyone to hand their opinions to you. Self-knowledge and self-invention are 2 primary skills to develop the leader within you. No one can teach you how and who to be, nor can anyone teach you how to be yourself. This is critical to understand in self-discovery. And consider these last thoughts on your path to self-discovery. Reflect. What is causing you to hesitate? Where are you stopping? Next, consider where are you standing firm and where are you should be standing soft. Third, where are you soft and should be standing firm? And then last, reinvent. The beliefs that you have today that are causing you pain and no longer work, reinvent yourself. What's important to you now? What do you want? What's important to you now? And what do you want? Going along with the crowd is a prison. Learning, on the other hand, liberates. Don't be a copy. Be an original. I'm Joe Murphy, and I am here for your success. Thanks for watching.